Hello there guys, my name is Ben and today you are going to be watching a video that I do not know what it is because it's not playing in the background. I haven't chosen a video to use for it. I should choose that post commentary I guess and decide depending on how long the video is and if I can actually find a gameplay. But I'm going to be talking today about the state of Black Ops 2 and kind of where it's at in my opinion. Just my opinion, of course. Obviously I want to hear your guys' opinions as well because everyone's opinion is going to differ. You guys might agree with me, you may disagree with me, but that's absolutely fine. I'd like to know your opinion after hearing mine. So Black Ops 2 has been out now for approximately 6 months and it's been supported fantastically, no doubt about it. Treyarch have done their best to develop the game whilst it's been out to make sure that we have the best experience as humanly possible. Now I know a lot of people have criticised the game in terms of lag, and I have been one of them. Don't get me wrong, it's been something which has really frustrated me in the last 6 months. But after watching a Drifter video where he's actually explained in depth how lag compensation works, I've kind of made my peace with it, if you like, and I'm not as entrenched in the fact that lag is ruining my games. Shit, it's horrible. I hate lag. We should have dedicated servers and all these other bits and pieces. After watching that Drifter video, I've kind of made my peace with it, and the fact that sometimes it's going to work for me, sometimes it's going to work against me, and quite often I'm probably not really going to know the difference unless, of course, I'm dying around a corner or I'm killing someone who's running around a corner or what have you. So I've made my peace in terms of the lag, and I hope you guys have as well, because it's not something which is going to disappear just because of how netcoding works. I don't fully understand it enough to explain it. I understand it, but I don't have a firm enough grasp of it to kind of relay that information to you. But it is something which is effectively unavoidable in a game. Even if you were to have dedicated servers, it would still be an element of, or there would still be an element of lag. So I kind of made my peace with that and kind of got over it and kind of turned my attention to other things in the game which I find at the moment kind of deeply concerning. There are good bits as well, and I will be talking about the good bits because there's some fantastically good bits in the game. But to start with, I am going to talk about the things that worry me. So Treyarch have supported the game as best they can, and they have done a good job with it. They've released a lot of updates, they've released a lot of maps. David Vonderhaar, the community manager and lead designer for the game, has kind of been very vocal and very open about what's been going on, which is great. It's good to have that transparency between developers and players, so we know exactly where things are in their minds, where the game's going to be going. It's really good and really helpful for players out there who kind of really invest a lot of time in the game and really care about the game. But having said that, there's some things with the patches which kind of worry me a little bit because it's maybe taking away from the game. So if we look on release, there was a couple of guns that were just viewed as completely overpowerful. If we look at the submachine guns, you had the MSMC, which was viewed as a complete monster, maybe overpowered. You had the PDW, which was overpowered, but I would say it was only overpowered by comparison with the other submachine guns, for instance, and not by comparison to the other categories of weapon. And they've subsequently nerfed the guns which they think are overpowered, and obviously we're going to still stick with submachine guns at this point. And now, if I go into a game with a submachine gun, I feel automatically that I'm at a disadvantage. Against a sniper rifle for long range, obviously you're always going to be at a disadvantage, but even at close range, the time to kill on a sniper rifle now feels a lot less than what it does on a submachine gun. And time to kill, I'm talking obviously time it takes to zoom in or ADS, shoot and kill someone. That is the time to kill. Now obviously if you're playing against someone who has a marginal ability to quickscope, then 9 times out of 10 in a one-on-one close range gunfight, you're probably actually going to lose with a submachine gun at this point, which is wrong. In my opinion, it is wrong. I know that sniper rifles are designed to effectively be one-shot kill weapons, but I think it should be set up in a way that a sniper rifle is a sniper rifle. It's there for long-range combat, not for close-range gunfights where you should still be able to win as frequently as you do. That's my views on it, and now I'll turn my attention slightly onto the pistols and the sidearms. Now, secondary weapons should be exactly that. They are secondary weapons. Now, because I'm a submachine gun player, and the submachine guns, as far as I'm concerned, they don't work anymore. They are not anywhere near as good or as useful to use as an assault rifle or a sniper rifle or a shotgun. The next option to look at is the sidearms, the secondaries, and they are probably more powerful than the primary submachine guns. I feel more confident at this point in the game going into any match with a B-23, TAC-45 or a CAP-40 than I would any submachine gun. And that's worrying, because that's not what they're designed for. They are designed as a backup weapon, not to be used as a primary. And like I say, I'd feel more comfortable going into a match with a pistol, sidearm, secondary, whatever you want to call them, as a primary weapon, and just kind of make an uber fast-paced class. I think to maybe highlight that point, I'll try and dig out a video where I'm actually using that kind of class, so you can kind of see my point. And I think that's kind of not for dispute at the moment. I think anybody who's played the game would, generally speaking, agree that the secondary weapons are more powerful than the submachine guns, because they do what the submachine guns can't. They will win battles at close range, they will win some of the time at medium range, and long range very rarely win, but you can still win because they're still accurate enough, and if you put enough bullets down range, especially with like a 5.7 or a TAC-45 or even the B-23, you know, less with the CAP-40, you can still win gunfights at long range, as long as the person you're battling against in that moment in time are pretty bloody terrible, or if they're using obviously a pistol as well. And the amount of pistols in the game in a minute, I can't go into a lobby without actually finding people who are using pistols. And I just got a text message, I apologise for that. So, you know, that's kind of my thoughts at the minute in terms of lag and in terms of the gun balance as well. You know, that's something which has got me worried. I'm hoping that it's going to get changed and things are kind of brought more perhaps in line with how it was on release, where the submachine guns were great at close range, because that is what a submachine gun is. Maybe just improve their ability close range, but reduce their ability for longer range, kind of make the drop off more significant in terms of damage. That is personally what I would like to see. Whether it happens or not, I don't know, but that is what I would love to see happen. Now, in terms of where Call of Duty is at the minute for Black Ops 2 by comparison to where it was a year ago with Modern Warfare 3, this will be the last point I'm going to cover. So, in Modern Warfare 3 at the start of it, we had Moabs, and then double Moabs, and then triple Moabs, and who can get the quickest Moabs, with people permanently putting a countdown timer on their screen to show, yes, I got a Moab in 45 seconds. Wow, I'm so great. And then came the 100 pluses, like people had spawn trapping or using the highest score streaks to try and get the 100 plus gameplays that they so eagerly crave. Now, I've never been the sort of person that will kind of watch a video and intently just watch the gameplay. I'll quite often just watch a video while I'm having a cup of coffee, maybe having a fag out the window, and kind of just listen to it rather than focusing solely on the video. And certainly that's always what I've tried to kind of portray in my videos, where I've tried to make it more interesting about the commentary side of things rather than the video side of things. I guess that's kind of what I have to do, because the videos that I bring are never going to be the 100 pluses and double, triple Moabs, penta Moabs, quad Moabs, 10 Moabs in one game. I'm not going to be that kind of player. Partly because I can't go out and do that, partly because it doesn't interest me. I wouldn't ask you guys to watch a video that I wouldn't find interesting. I'd rather post a gameplay which is close, or something which is solid, and I feel like I've done my part to genuinely help out the team to try and get the victory. You know, that's how I've gone about things. So obviously we said about what was the Modern Warfare 3 equivalent with the Moabs, and then the 100 pluses and the fast Moabs, and it extended the life of the game for probably in and around the region of about 9 months before everything was kind of exhausted. Now, in Black Ops 2, we're 6 months in, and everything is already exhausted, apart from the new maps coming out, and then people trying to get the high-scoring gameplays in those. Because that's all this game has to offer in terms of YouTube. It is high-scoring gameplays, 100 pluses, and then 100 pluses using non-lethals, obviously UAV, counter-UAV, EMP, VSAT, excuse me, I burped a little bit. So that's all Black Ops 2 has offered in terms of YouTube. And I know the developers have said, well, we don't make a game for YouTubers, you know, that's not our primary concern. And yet they've still added the function where anybody can upload a video to YouTube from the game. So obviously it is something which they have had in mind, despite what they say. It is something which has obviously been a consideration in their eyes. So 6 months in, Black Ops 2, what's my final thoughts on it? I think it's near enough completely exhausted. I think waiting 2 months between DLCs at the minute is probably more detrimental to the game. I mean, we saw the other day, I don't know about you guys, but my sub box completely filled with Studio, Vertigo, Encore and Magma gameplays. And I'm sure I've done the same with you guys, because I know I uploaded 5 videos in one day, but it almost feels like you have to do it because it's one of the big events of the year when new DLC comes out. It's the same as when the game first comes out. You want to kind of overload YouTube with your own videos to try and get your content out there as quick as possible and as much of it out as possible as well. So that's probably the only thing that's really being looking. What I'd say is the only thing that kind of keeping the YouTube scene alive is the DLC and kind of getting the variety of the maps, which is good. In terms of the DLC, by and large, I think the DLC is pretty good. I can't really complain. There's maps that I like, there's maps that I don't like, but overall, it seems to be good. I worry about the fact that, like, Nuketown, when it got brought back, I thought it was terrible. Really, really didn't float my boat whatsoever. Firing range, or studio, however you want to call it. Now that's come back. I know it's a fan favourite, so they want to bring it back and kind of appease the masses, and that's what they've said. I don't know whether it's that or have they brought it back because they know that there's issues in the game, and bringing back something which they know people like and will make people happy will kind of detract from the issues within the game. You know, maybe that's the case, maybe I'm reading too much into it, I don't know. But yeah, just my final thoughts on Black Ops 2. I think 6 months in, I think it's not as appealing as Modern Warfare 3 was in terms of videos for YouTube, which is why I will always continue to bring, you know, semi-decent gameplays, but with hopefully decent commentaries. Now, I know I've talked an awful lot and it's going to be an extremely long video, so thank you guys ever so much if you managed to watch it to the end. It's really, really appreciated. And I know I referenced in one of my previous videos the fact that I was going to do this 24 hours thing straight. I shall give you an update on that in my next video, because it's quite interesting what's actually happened with it. So I'll talk about that in my next video. Please leave your comments below to let me know what your thoughts are in terms of obviously what I've spoken about. If you disagree, let me know if you disagree, because we all have our opinions. We should all share our opinions, because that is what the internet is about. That is the beauty of the internet, that we can share opinions, we can disagree with people, but I'm hoping in a polite way rather than just people commenting, "You're wrong, you're a fucking faggot." No, that doesn't really interest me. I'd rather, you know, honest opinions and discussions, because that's what the beauty of the internet is as far as I'm concerned. Some of you might agree, some of you may disagree, but let me know in the comments below. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I'm sorry that it's such a long video. I think it's quite probably the longest I've spoken on a YouTube commentary in quite some time, possibly ever. So I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I look forward to reading your comments below. Take care, guys, and I shall see you in another video on another day. Goodbye.